So Donald Trump went on a pardoning spree yesterday, and there are all sorts of different takes and reports about this, what it means, how he picked who to pardon. But unfortunately, the most precise and narrow analysis is that Donald Trump is doing three things here, and they're all bad. Number one, this is an example of elites pardoning elites, plain and simple. And this is also Donald Trump laying the groundwork for future pardons of his own convicted associates. This is also, number three, an indirect attack on James Comey and Robert Mueller. And we're going to go through each of these in order. Donald Trump yesterday pardoned people ranging in skin color, ranging in political party, and it is all very much a sham. Now, before we get into it, remember that a pardon is a form of clemency. A pardon is when a government official forgives a certain criminal offense. The offense can stay on the person's criminal record. The person is not subject to further restrictions or criminal penalties that other convicts or ex-convicts may be subjected to. A pardon is a form of clemency. Clemency is a general term for reducing the penalty for a particular crime without clearing the criminal record. It could be a pardon, could be that a sentence gets commuted, could be a reprieve, which is you temporarily put off or suspend the punishment, but don't cancel it altogether. In total, Donald Trump granted 11 clemency instances yesterday. It includes Edward John DiBartolo Jr., a former real estate developer and NFL executive, pled guilty to sexual assault charges, Trump granting him clemency. Rod Blagojevich, the corrupt Democratic governor of Illinois, former governor, accused of trying to sell a Senate seat, has served 8 years of a 14-year sentence for those pay-to-play charges. Trump is getting him out of prison. Former New York Police Commissioner Bernie Kerik, convicted of tax fraud and lying to officials, a Republican. Bernie Kerik, of course, also connected to Donald Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Mike Milken, an investment banker known as the Junk Bond King, convicted of felony charges that included conspiracy, securities fraud, kind of the poster child of 1980s financial scandals. And Donald Trump has also pardoned former Bush administration official David Safavian, who was convicted in connection with the Jack Abramoff corruption scandal. So a lot of corruption here being pardoned. Donald Trump said about Rod Blagojevich, it was a prosecution by the same people. Comey, Fitzpatrick, the same group, Trump said. Misstating, by the way, the Illinois U.S. attorney's last name. So first of all, there was this reaction of, oh, wow, Trump pardoned a Democrat, Rod Blagojevich. Remember, the pardon of Blagojevich was a way to attack James Comey. It was elites pardoning elites more than anything else. It was also Trump pardoning corruption and corruption continuing to be normalized, which is one of the themes of these clemency grants. And then you also saw, Trump pardoning some white people and some black people. It's irrelevant. We are again talking about elites here. And what this functions as is a pretext for future pardons of Trump associates, to be able to say when Trump ultimately pardons Stone, Michael Flynn, we don't know who yet. Trump will be able to say, listen, I've been doing this all along. I find people who were railroaded and I pardon them. It includes people of all skin colors. It includes members of multiple political parties. That's all this is. It is a lot of corruption-related charges being pardoned. Trump, arguably the most corrupt president in the modern era. It's a sham. And I would be shocked if at minimum, Trump doesn't end up pardoning Roger Stone, no matter what sentence Roger Stone ultimately gets. And it may be much shorter than what was initially recommended by prosecutors, as you know. I don't know if Trump will ultimately pardon his former national security advisor, Michael Flynn. Michael Cohen, Trump's old personal lawyer, I think is less likely for a pardon after what has been said publicly between the two. But this is a message from Donald Trump. If you do things I don't like to Roger Stone and Michael Flynn or whoever, I will just pardon them. And he will. This is also the forced normalization of not just political corruption, but also of other crimes. And you are going to hear, Blagojevich got a raw deal. Political corruption, that's not really a crime. You will hear, I've pardoned Democrats and Republicans alike. And of course, you have to step back and see the bigger narrative. This is elites protecting elites. This is the rich protecting the rich. And it is all a shell game. And with Rod Blagojevich as the specific example, and I want to talk about this next, this also appears to be very much related to some appearances that Rod Blagojevich's wife had on TV, bad mouthing the people that were investigating Donald Trump. Let's talk about that next. Do you feel like you just don't have enough time to become as intellectually well-rounded as you would like to be, that there are just not enough hours in your week for you to read all of the books that you want to read? One of our sponsors is called Blinkist, and it's an app that lets you consume an entire nonfiction book in 15 minutes. It's only about $8 a month, but you can try it for free for a week and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. What Blinkist does is take thousands of popular nonfiction books and condense them into either text or audio that you can read or listen to in just 15 minutes. And what you get is all of the most important ideas and information from the book. Imagine being able to listen to an entire nonfiction book in the amount of time it takes you to drive or walk home from work. I just finished listening to The Way We Eat Now by B. Wilson, whose work I've recommended to you before. Super interesting look at how the global food system works and impacts the way that we live. Blinkist has totally transformed how I consume information. I love it. Of course, I read a book in its entirety when I can, but there are simply just so many books that I want to read and would not have the time for if it weren't for Blinkist. They have books on politics, economics, philosophy, science, you name it. You can try it out yourself, totally free for a week, and get 25% off if you decide to subscribe just by going to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video. Like the rest of us, I bet you're going into 2020 thinking about what you didn't get around to in 2019 and your goals for the new year. If you want to work towards being your best self in 2020, understand more about the world around you, and make sure that your time is well spent, then Blinkist is for you.